Hi, everybody. Welcome to Learn by Doing. And this week we're going to pick up a tool for designing and standing up very quick landing page that you can test right away with your market. This is good for founders, designers, business owners who have an idea and who really want to get something out there quickly. And a lot of the work that I'm showing you here is just to send up something temporary that you can, again, use it to test the interest from potential customers. A lot of the honing down on customer profiles or problem to solve, pain points, as well as value propositions. Those are the things that maybe working with a strategist or a designer would help you to hone in on the specifics. But once you have the specifics of those things, then you can take them to this tool and create the site pretty quickly with AI. So this is Relume.io, and it's essentially a tool for quickly create a site. So I'm going to click on new project. And up here, you can see that there are options for sitemap, wireframe, and style guide. A sitemap is how your site is structured, how content is bucket in different categories, how users move from one navigation item to another. Wireframe is a page by page layout that can show you how different content hierarchy play out on a page. And then style guide here has to do with some quick style that this tool Relume already have in order to get you a nice looking enough wireframe. And again, to have a specific style or design, you should probably work with a designer, but to get started, this is probably sufficient. So I'm going to start with this simple styling for our demo. You can obviously change a lot of this colors. The right side is where you can see the preview right away. You can also change the typography. And then these are some of the very basic styling that look pretty decent. This is a good first start. So I would just keep it simple and make sure that you feel good about how it's showing up on the side. So it's hard to not look good. Okay, so I have a style guide. Let's assume that we need to create a quick landing page. So I just type out a prompt here on the left side. What I'm saying is that, hey, please create a B2B landing page to advertise a professional consulting service in the education industry. Include sections for services, client testimonials, and a contact form, right? And I clicked on generate wireframe and it's saying, hey, this will override everything. That's okay because I haven't started. I'm going to click confirm and it's starting to work. It's starting to show me here is some of the section that you would potentially want. Here is a place for you to plug in your content, right? Here's your service section, testimonial from client, and then a section for contact. And just like that, with the click of a button, you then get a pretty good start to a sound landing page that you can use right away. Once you have this wireframe, I will start, editing some of these texts to make sure that it uh, align with your tone of voice. So for me, it'll be open up access to educational excellence through expert consulting, right? And then it already give you some text here to start. Again, it's a pretty solid start. Some of these could be a little generic. These icons here, you would wonder, hey, those icons look exactly the same. Once you have this wireframe layout, and again, start plugging in some of this content, you then will have a pretty good start to the different section that you want. any point that you want to change the layout of these, you can go to the sidebar here and start playing around with this. For some of the copy, you can also go and get generated copy here right away, right? So that it gives you a good start. The style guide gives an example of how we would use different colors and typography and styling to showcase the design of the site. So here you're starting to see some of content coming to life with the styling. Once you have somewhat of a website with content, you can then export it to something like Figma and send it to your designer if you have one as a way to communicate your idea, or to Webflow if you are someone who's comfortable with setting up the site yourself. And what's great is that from here, as a designer or consultant, you can go into pitch concepts and essentially create different concepts that you can choose to share with clients, with developers, with even users or customers to get feedback. So I could say this is concept one. If there's a new concept that is a different color palette, for example, when I go to pitch concept, I immediately see different concept with different color scheme that I can share via copy link. And then I can also use this surprise me as a way to generate different color scheme, typography, combination. And again, this helps you as somebody who may or may not have a design experience to get started quite quickly. If I go back into Wireframe, this is where you probably spend the most time trying to change the content, applying some of the different layout and assets here. Like you can swap it out to video or image. You can have different placement, whether image on the left or image on the right. It can be a form or a button, right? And then in the case of this B2B business, I'm trying to gather interest about this service. So this section specifically is for people who use Figma in their work, whether to communicate with your design team, engineering team, and also if you're a designer or consultant. So in order to export, I got to install the Reloom Figma kit. It's really just a style guide on how to use the kit. I'm also needing to install this plugin, which then asked me to open up the design in this Reloom kit. I went to this Reloom plugin and I connected the Reloom account with my Figma. Then I selected this B2B site and I wanted to import the style guide and concept. Again, some of these style guide and concept that I really like, especially this one. And so I imported that in here, concept one, and it's, pulling in the landing page that we've just created based on the guide that we've chosen. All right, so I just exported the Reloom style guide into my Figma, and it's telling me, hey, import complete. 5 hours, 30 minutes save based on 2 hours to create a style guide and 30 minutes to design each section from scratch in Figma. So this is the style guide that was just pulled in. And you can see here that it has a desktop version and a mobile version. It has a lot of the component that we've just imported, including this page layout and some of the text that we've seen. And then from here, right, you can click in to replace this image from maybe something like Unsplash. I use Unsplash because it is essentially royalty free and there is some very good high quality images in there. So I'm going to just say professional services, right? No, some of these are generic, but maybe we can find something good. And what I like to do is that I usually attributed the image back to the creator, just so that even if I'm using their images, that they get something out of it too. So going back to here, I'm going to replace this image, do the same for this mobile one as well. Here and here. And just like that, you get a site that is pretty solid for you to go test right away, complete with the header section, some of these services, as well as testimonial and a connecting form. What I will then do is share this with either my designer or my engineer for feedback, but also to get this built in something like Webflow or Squarespace. If you have the paid version of Relume, you can export to Webflow as well. And that's really it. I hope this was useful as a very quick demo. I thought that this is just a very useful tool to get you started right away with limited design experience. But yeah, for sure, connect with a designer or somebody who you trust in taste and style to make sure that the messaging that you're delivering through this layout really hit home with the audience and the pain point that you're trying to solve. And until then, if you have any questions or any comments, please drop them in the chat and I'll be happy to follow up. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.